Welcome back, Kwik reader. So how's your reading? It is super quick. And this lesson is going to prove it to you because we are going to be doing a quick drill. These are speed drills. This is the practice that you've been waiting for. Now the gloves are off, the metaphorical gloves are off, and we are going to get right into it. What we're doing is just like you want to build your body. You stretch and you stabilize. You stretch and you stabilize. You stretch and you stabilize. Same thing has to do with your mind. Oliver Wendell Holmes said this, that a person's mind, once stretched by a new idea, never truly regains its original dimensions. And so we're going to stretch you in new ways, and we're really going to push this speed. And then from here, we're going to transition into comprehension. The rest of the program is going to be all about smart reading. But we spent all this time getting your speed up there because once your speed is up there, the comprehension is going to catch up in a very, very big way. So I hope you're excited about this. Now the metaphor I compare this to is the human body. That if I was your physical trainer or you go to a personal trainer at the gym, they help you to grow through stimulus, right? They push you so that when you go back to what's normal in the real world, quote unquote, your life is easier because you have stronger muscles. They push you on a treadmill, for example, and you're going at a faster pace. Not that you're gonna have to do that necessarily in the real world, but when you're climbing a mountain and you're hiking and you're going up the stairs to work, it shows up there because your endurance is stronger, your focus is better, your strength is more solid. Same thing has to do with your mind. So I'm going to take you to the mental gym, if you will, and we're going to do a process I call 4, 3, 2, 1. 4, 3, 2, 1. Essentially, I'm going to get you to read 4 times faster than you ever thought was possible. And at that point, you're not really reading, but when you come down to what feels natural and normal, it's going to be leagues above to where you started at. And you're going to see that exactly happen going through this process. So I'm very, very excited for you. So let's start the 4, 3, 2, 1 process right now. I want you to grab your practice book. Grab your practice book, and I want you to put a mark in the margin where you left off. It's a brand new book, starting from the very beginning. And we're going to time you to read for 4 minutes. And I want you to read using your finger while you read, but read for full comprehension. Read for full comprehension for 4 minutes. Do not stop until I say stop. We're going to count down, get ready, pick up where you left off, and begin reading right now. Okay, now stop, quick readers. I want you to put a mark in the margin where you just finished. Put a mark in the margin where you left off. So now, quick reader, you have a beginning and an end. This is kind of like your track. If you're going to be running along the track, this is going to be your track from the beginning to the end. We are going to run this track repetitively another 3 times. So we did it 1 time, now we're going to do it a 2nd time. But here's the difference. This is what you read in 4 minutes. Now I'm going to ask you to reread what you just read. But this time I want you to finish it in 3 minutes. Meaning start where you started, and I want you to arrive at the end in 3 minutes, okay? So go back to the beginning, get ready. I'm going to time you for 3 minutes. And when I say stop, you must be at the end. So keep looking at the screen to see how many seconds you have left and read. Now, your comprehension won't be quite as good. That's not the point. The point is, though, your goal is to cross that finish line in 3 minutes. Ready, set, begin. And stop, quick readers. How did that feel? For some of you, you're like, okay, that was manageable. I kind of understood a little bit of what I was reading. It felt a little bit faster. But here's where it gets a little bit, with your permission as your coach, part of what I'm doing as your coach is to push you past your limitations. And now you're going to reread again, get to the finish line in 2 minutes. What normally took you 4 minutes and then 3 minutes, you're now going to complete in 2 minutes, essentially reading this in half the time, right? But the prime directive, you must cross the finish line in 2 minutes, okay? So look at the video, see how much time you have left, and make sure that even if you need to skip lines as you're going through, you're still using your finger while you read, indenting an inch on each margin. But if you need to skip lines, but the goal is when you cross that finish line, get there in 2 minutes. Ready? 1, 2, 3, begin. And stop. How did that feel, quick readers? You're like, Jim, you're killing me. Yes, with your permission, I'm getting you to do more mental laps on the treadmill than you ever thought was possible. Now here's the most difficult part. You're gonna read or run past this finish line what normally took 4 minutes, then 3 minutes, and 2 minutes. You now must do in 60 seconds. You have 1 minute to cross the finish line. You're thinking, Jim, this is impossible. Nothing is impossible. Even if you break down the word impossible, it says, I'm what? I'm possible. And it's cheesy and it's cliche, but it's often very true. Now here's the thing. Use your finger while you read. Even if you have to skip whole lines as you're going through it, that's fine. You have my permission to do so. But your eyes must follow your finger, and your finger must cross that finish line in 60 seconds. Go back to the start again. Go back to the starting line. 1, 2, 3, begin, go. Okay, 15 seconds has passed. You have 45 seconds. Hurry up. Remember, must cross the finish line. Okay, we're at the halfway point, 30 seconds. You only have 30 seconds left. Even if you have to skip lines, do it. Make sure you cross the finish line. Okay, the last 15 seconds. Make a really strong dash. Get to the end. Get to the end. And stop. Wow, how did that feel, quick readers? You're a little short of breath. Don't worry, I'm not going to have you do it again, but how did it feel? That was intense, right? Essentially what you were doing that last round is you're reading in 1 minute that normally took you 4 minutes. You're reading 4 times faster. And you're like, Jim, this wasn't reading. Of course not. You weren't even reading. At that point, you're basically scanning, you're skimming, you're skipping all kinds of words, but that's okay. It's not just about quick reading, it's about quick thinking. If you want to be a quicker thinker, have more clarity of thought, have better focus, we're training your mind to accept information faster, to be able to process information faster. It's kind of like going on a treadmill and we set it at the highest pace. But now when you come back to what feels normal, that normal level is usually higher than what your normal was before. Does that make sense? Because you're stronger. It's just like if you're lifting weights and you're bench pressing things at the highest level. If you go back to something that's easy, that easier level is usually higher than what was easy for you before because your body compensates because your muscles grow stronger. Same thing with your mind. Your mental muscles grow stronger to compensate against the stress or the challenge, because with challenge comes change. Now here's where the magic and the payoff happens. We are going to do our usual 2-minute baseline test. I'm going to ask you right now to pick up where you left off. So this is all new material. Pick up where you left off on the finish line in your book, where the last mark is in your margin, and I'm going to ask you to read for 2 minutes. Now read using your finger and read for your comprehension, and you can push yourself a little bit, but read to the level, stretch yourself, but also stabilize to where it's comfortable. Read for your comprehension now for 2 minutes, and now let's see where you are after going through this 4, 3, 2, 1 process. Pick up where you left off, begin reading right now. And stop, quick readers. Now, here's your payoff. I want you right now to do your baseline. What's your base rate? Count the number of lines you just read, divide it by 2, round up, multiply by the average number of words per line, and you have your new base rate, your new words per minute. What I want you to do right now to see your growth is sometimes we don't see the growth because we're in it. It's kind of like if you have children, if you see them every day, you don't kind of see them grow because you're with them every single day. But maybe if you're an aunt or uncle, or you see other people's children, you haven't seen them for a little bit, and you see them, you're like, wow, they've really grown. And you're like, wow, I haven't really seen it because I see them all the time. You see you all the time. When we did that first reading assessment, how many words per minute were you reading? What is your current reading rate right now? Where are you right now after about 10 days of practice? Do that right now. And because really, a lot of us are really hard on ourselves when we do something wrong, but be equally as passionate and positive when you do something right. So if you have any kind of